Hello everyone and welcome to this guitar tutorial for the song PLUTO Projector by Rex Orange County. So first of all, I would just like to thank these people right here for suggesting this song. Thank you very much for that. And please do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below to be updated on my future videos for tutorials and covers as well. So before we get started, I would just like to say a little bit of a disclaimer first. So I have changed this guitar tutorial so that it could be played by an acoustic guitar, because if we were to play this for the original version, which is going to be if we're going to use an electric guitar, we will also be playing using this space of the fretboard right here, which proves to be a little difficult when we're using an acoustic guitar. So I have adjusted some of the chords so that it'll be much more comfortable for you guys to play it as well. So I will teach this as simple as possible, because as you know, Rex Orange County does his performances with a lot of variations sometimes, so there's not really just one way to play his songs. And I will also post the timelines for the guitar tutorial as well, so that you guys will be able to navigate yourselves through each sections of the song. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so for the first verse, the chord progressions that we are going to use are these ones right here. Yep, and before I teach it to you guys, I'll be showing a little demonstration on how to do this, so you guys will know how it will sound like if you're gonna play it properly. So it goes like this. The great protector, is that what I'm supposed to be? What if all this counts for nothing? Everything I thought I'd be. What if by the time I realize it's too far behind to see? 70mm projector, I can show you everything, yeah. And we're on our way to glory, where the show won't ever end. The encore lasts forever. Now there's time for us to spend. So before I begin to teach you guys the chord progressions for this song, I would just like to discuss the plucking pattern first, which is basically going to be like this. So in order to do that, we're just going to pluck the bass note and the second strings together. Yep, and then the third string, and then the fourth string, and then the third string again. Now this whole plucking pattern counts as 2 counts for every time that you play a chord. So for example, we have the first chord right here, which is the C major 7 chord right here. Now to do this chord, we're just going to press on the 6th string on the 8th fret, and for the 5th string, we're just going to produce a dead sound on it by just letting your index finger rest on it. So you don't press, you just let it rest right there on the 5th string, and as well as the 9th fret on the 4th string, the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and the 8th fret on the 2nd string as well. So that's your C major 7 chord right there. Yep. So now once we're going to do the plucking pattern again, which is basically the bass note, which is right here on the 6th string, and the 2nd string, the 3rd string, the 4th string, and then the 3rd string again. Now we're going to play this chord for 8 counts, which means that we're going to do the plucking pattern 4 times. So 3 more times. Other one. And the last one, which is once again the bass note and the 2nd string, the 3rd string, the 4th string, and the 3rd string again. Yep. And now we move on to the E minor 7 chord, which is like this. In order to do this chord, just going to bar the 7th fret, which excludes this string right here. Just going to bar starting from the 5th string down to the 1st string. Along with that, we're going to press the 8th fret on the 2nd string, as well as the 9th fret on the 4th string. And that's your E minor 7 chord. Once again, we're going to do this chord for 8 counts with the same plucking pattern, which is once again the bass, which is now this one right here, which is on the 7th fret on the 5th string. So 5th string for the bass note, and the 2nd string, the 3rd, 4th, then 3rd. Then do that for 3 more times. Last one. And the next chord that we're going to do is the F major 7 chord, just like this. And to do this chord shape, we're just going to press on the 8th fret on the 5th string, the 10th fret on the 4th string, the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and the 10th fret on the 2nd string as well. Now for this one, we're just going to do this chord for 6 counts, which means that we're just going to do the plucking pattern 3 times. Which is once again the bass note, which is on the 5th string once again, as well as the 2nd string together, and then the 3rd one, 3rd string, 4th string, then the 3rd string again. Then do that for 2 more times, then the last one. Yep. And now for the next chord that we're going to do, which is the F sharp minor 7 flat 5, we're just going to move this index finger right here from the 8th fret. We're just going to move it onto the 9th fret right there. So once again, F major 7 to this new chord right here, which is the F sharp minor 7 flat 5. And we're just going to play this chord for 2 counts, which means that we're just going to play the plucking pattern once. Yep. So once again, the bass note and the 2nd string together, 3rd string, 4th string, then the 3rd string. And now the next chord that we're going to do is the G7 chord, which is gonna be like this. Now you've learned about the F major 7 chord before, right? Now the only difference now this time is from the 8th fret, we're gonna move this onto the 10th fret. And now we're going to bar the whole 10th fret starting from the 5th string. Now with these other string placements right here, you're just going to lose your middle finger right there. And that's your G7 chord. So yeah, after doing that, we're just gonna do this for 4 counts, which means that we're going to play the plucking pattern 2 times. Just once again, bass note, 2nd strings together, then the 3rd, 4th, 3rd, and once more. Now the next up is going to be the G7 sus4, which is, by the way, we're not going to do the plucking pattern, for it has its own standalone way of like playing it. Just going to be like this, like that. So once again, from your G7 chord, to make this into a G7 sus4, you're just going to move your finger 1 fret up on the fretboard. So from the 12th fret, you're just going to move it onto the 13th fret right here. And to play this, you're just gonna do the same plucking pattern in the beginning, just for this part. So it's the bass and the 2nd string, the 3rd, then the 4th, then the 2nd string again. Then you move back into the G7 chord once again, just like that, bass and the 2nd string together. So for those last 2 parts, it's going to be like this. And after doing that, you're gonna do that whole chord progression 1 more time. Just once again, I'm just going to show it to you. It's just going to be the C major 7 chord, once again for 8 counts. Yeah, then the E minor 7 chord. And the F major 7 chord. F sharp minor 7 flat 5, then the G7 chord, G7 sus 4, G7 chord, hold it for 2 counts. Then the next chord that we're going to do is going to be this chord right here, which is the F major 9. So to do this chord, we're just going to press the 8th fret on the 5th string, the 7th fret on the 4th string, the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and the 8th fret on the 2nd string. And do one simple down strum and hold it for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the next chord that we're going to do is the FM major 9. Just basically from this chord right here, from F major 9, just move your index finger, which is on the 7th fret of the 4th string, just move it into the 6th fret of the 4th string. Once again, just one single down strum. Hold that for 2 counts. 1, 2. And that's your first verse. Okay, so now for the second verse of this song, the chord progressions that we're going to use are these ones right here. And before I teach it to you guys once more, I'm just going to do a little bit of demonstration first, so you guys will see how it will sound like if you start to play it properly. So it goes a little bit like this. Spending the years together, growing older every day, yeah. I feel at home when I'm around you, and I'll gladly say again, hope the old call lasts forever. Now there's time with you to spend, and it's sublime with you, my friend. Okay, so for the second verse of this song, the only difference that it has with the first verse is that from the C major 7 up to the G7 chord, it all stays the same. However, we won't be repeating it once more, so you're just gonna do the whole chord progression just once. So just a little bit of a quick recap once again. C major 7, and the plucking pattern is also the same, which is basically the bass and the second strings together, and then the 3rd and the 4th strings, 3rd, 4th, then the 3rd string again. Once again, do this for 4 times, which is, so we only have now 3 times left to go. Once more, and the last one. Yeah. Then the next one's E minor 7 for 8 counts. One more, and the last one. Yeah. Then the next one's F major 7 for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3. Then the next up is F sharp minor 7 flat 5 again for 2 counts. Yeah. Then the G7 chord for 4 counts now this time. Then G7 sus 4. Then the G7 again. Just do this, bass in the second strings, then let it hold for 2 counts. Then the next up is going to be the F major 9 chord. Just once again, do a simple down strum and let it hold for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then F major 9 for 2 counts. 1, 2. And now after that, we go straight on to the pre-chorus now. Okay, so for the pre-chorus of the song, once again, we're going to use these chord progressions right here. Yep, and before I teach it to you guys again, I'm just going to do a little bit of demonstration first, so that you guys will know how it will sound like if you start to play it properly. So here it goes. Oh, this right here is like the honeymoon. When you say my name, nothing's changed. Just like a boy inside my thoughts. Am I meant to understand my faults? Now for the pre-chorus section of the song, It almost has the same chord progression just as verse 1 and verse 2. The only difference is that at the end here, which is at the G7 chord right here, we're not going to do this whole bit. So for playing the G7 chord at the end of the pre-chorus, it's just like this. So play it for 6 counts, right? Which is basically the whole plucking pattern for 3 times. 1, 2, and now for the fourth one, which is supposed to be, because this chord is going to be played for 8 counts. However, for the last 2 counts, we're just going to hold it with the bass and the second string. Just like that. So quick recap once again, C major 7 for 8 counts, just basically 4 times for the plucking pattern. Once again, bass and the second string, third, fourth, then the third one. That's the first one, 2, 3, 4, E minor 7 once again, same plucking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next up is F major 7 chord right here for 6 counts now, just basically 3 times the plucking pattern. 1, 2, 3. Then the F sharp minor 7 flat 5 for 2 counts. 1. And the G7 chord for 8 counts. Once again, just pluck the whole thing for 3 times. 1, 2, then let it hold for the last 2 counts with the bass and the second string. And after that's done, we go straight into the chorus part of this song. Okay, so for the chorus part of this song now, the chord progressions that we're going to use are these ones right here. And once again, before I teach you guys this chord progression, I'll be showing a little demonstration so that you guys will know how it will sound like if you start to play it properly. So here it goes. I don't think so. Maybe I'm not meant to understand myself. Oh, maybe you do, and that's good for you. Maybe in time, maybe one day I'll do the same. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll do the same. I'll do the same. So yeah, for the chorus part of the song now, the chord progression of this one is gonna be most similar to the first verse of this song. However, the difference is that we won't be doing this chord shapes right here. Yep. So we're just going to start at the C major 7 chord up to the last G7 chord right here, along with the whole bit of this. Yep. So just a little bit of recap once again. It's the C major 7 this time, along with the same plucking pattern that we've used before. It's basically the bass note and the second string, third, fourth, and the third. Do that for 3 more times for the 8 counts of this chord. 2, 3, and 4. Then the next chord once again that we're going to do is the E minor 7 chord for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next up that we're going to do is the F major 7 chord for 6 counts now this time. 1, 2, 3. Then the F sharp minor 7 flat 5 for 2 counts. Then the G7 chord for 4 counts. Then the G7 sus4 for 2 counts. And G7. Then do that whole thing again one more time. C major 7. 4. minor 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, F major 7, 1, 2, 3, then the F sharp minor 7 flat 5, 1, then the G7 chord, G7 sus4, then the G7 chord. When that's all done, we're now gonna move into the bridge part of this song, which uses different chord shapes as well as the different plucking patterns. So let's get into it. Okay, so for the bridge part of this song now, the chord progressions that we're going to use are these ones right here. And once again, before I teach you guys this, I will be showing you guys a little bit of a demonstration first, so that you will see how it will sound like once you start to play it properly. So here it goes. I'll do the same as you would try to hold me up. So now hope as soon as I'm old enough. Now for the bridge part of this song, before I teach you guys the chord progressions for this one, I would just like to discuss with you the plucking pattern for this one. So for the first plucking pattern, it's like this, right? It's the bass and the second string, third, fourth, and the third. However, for the second plucking pattern, it's going to be the bass and the second string, third, fourth, and then the second string again. So the only difference is that instead of going back into the third string after moving here on the fourth string, you're just gonna go into the second string. So for example, on the first chord that we have, which is F major 7, the plucking pattern is gonna be like this: bass and the second string, third, fourth, and then the second. That's 2 counts. Then the next one is going to be E minor 7 for 2 counts once again. The plucking pattern this time: bass second string, third, fourth, second. And the next up is D minor 7. So basically it has the same chord shape as E minor 7, this whole chord shape. Starting from here, just gonna move it all the way up into the 5th fret. Yep. Once again, same plucking pattern: bass second, 3, 4, 2, and then the D7 chord, which is basically from this right here with your second string on the 6th fret. You're just going to move it into the 7th fret now using your pinky finger. Once again, D minor 7 chord right here. You're just going to move it here now on the 7th fret, from the 6th to the 7th with your pinky finger. Once again, same plucking pattern: bass second, 3, 4, 2, then G minor 7, just basically this one right here. Once again, from the E minor 7 chord as a reference, you're just gonna move all this chord shape up into the 10th fret. Yep. Once again, same plucking pattern: bass in the second string, 3, 4, 2, then F sharp major 7, which is this chord right here. So it has the same chord shape as F major 7. I'm just going to move it up a fret, and that is now your F sharp major 7. Once again, same plucking pattern: bass second, 3, 4, 2, and then F major 7 once again for 4 counts: 3, 4. Then for the last bit, you're going to pluck the first string on the 8th fret right there. So all together it sounds like this. Yep. Now in the demonstration earlier, I showed you that I play it like this, just so that I could reach the first string on the 8th fret. Now it's up to you guys. since this is just like a shortcut, a little bit of an alternative. However, the proper way to play this chord is by doing this. Right there, yep. Now for the sake of playing this song right here, you can also do this, just to make it easier for you guys. So after doing that whole chord progression, you're just gonna do that whole thing one more time. Then after the bridge part of the song, we now go straight into the interlude. Okay, so for the interlude part of the song now, the chord progressions that we're going to use are these ones right here. Yep. Once again, these are a new set of chord progressions as well as new chord shapes. So before we get into it, I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of a demonstration first, so that you will see how it will sound like if you start to play it properly. So it goes a little bit like this. Now for the interlude section of the song now, it starts off with the B flat major 7 chord, which is right here. Yep. Now the only difference with the C major 7 chord is that it's right here on the 8th fret. But to do the B flat major 7 chord, you just move the whole chord shape down up to the 6th fret. So from the 8th, you just move the whole thing onto the 6th fret. Right there. Yep. Once again, with 2 counts, we're going to do the same plucking pattern. Now with 2 counts, we're just going to do the same plucking pattern as the bridge section of this song, which is basically the bass and the 2nd string, 3rd, 4th, then the 2nd. Then the next up that we're going to do, which is a new chord on this whole song, is the D7 with the root note of A. So with the root note of A, it means that it's right here. You're gonna put your whole index finger in here, do a bar for the whole thing, from the 6th string up to the 1st. Then you're gonna put your ring finger on the 4th string on the 7th fret, and the 2nd string on the 7th fret as well. And this right here on the 5th fret, the index finger bars the whole 5th fret, right there. Again, with the whole plucking pattern, the bass note and the 2nd string together, then the 3rd string, then the 4th string, then the 2nd string, then the G minor 7 chord. However, instead of doing this one right here, we're going to do this version now. So it's basically like this or like this. It's up to you really, but I much prefer to do it like this. Whatever you guys are much comfortable with, that's alright with me. So for G minor 7, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna do this one right here. So basically use your thumb to press the... So basically using your thumb to press on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, as well as the 3rd fret on the 4th, 3rd, and the 2nd string. Right there, yep. Once again, with the same plucking pattern, bass in the 2nd string, 3rd, 4th, 2nd. That's 2 counts. Then we move on to G7 chord, just like this. So once again, the thumb is right here. Index finger is now pressing the 4th string on the 3rd fret. The 3rd string is now pressing the 4th fret, and the 2nd string is pressing the 3rd fret. Once again, same plucking pattern, bass in the 2nd string, 3rd, 4th, 2nd. Then we move on to the C minor 7 chord for 2 counts. Once again, this is just the same as the D minor 7 and the E minor 7 chord. The only difference is we're gonna move this whole chord shape up into the 3rd fret. So once again, that's C minor 7 for 2 counts. So just do it once again, the same plucking pattern. Bass 2nd string, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, then B major 7, just right here. The same as the F major 7 chord. The only difference is we're gonna move this whole thing down onto the 2nd fret. Once again, that's the same plucking pattern. Once again, bass 2nd string, 3rd, 4th. Then after B major 7 chord, we move on to the B flat major 7 chord right here. Just move the whole chord shape down onto the 1st fret. And do the whole plucking pattern again. Just basically bass note and the 2nd string, 3rd, 4th. But instead of going onto the 2nd string once more, we finish it with the 1st string on the 1st fret. Just like that, yep. You can do this, or just to do a little shortcut, just release this string right here, so you will be able to reach this string much easier. Once again, it's bass 2nd, 3rd, 4th, then 1st. So for that chord progression from the B flat major 7 up to the B flat major 7 once again, you're gonna do that whole chord progression for 4 times. Then once again, we're going to repeat the part from C minor 7 to B major 7. And once you've figured that out, we'll now be moving on to the last section of this song, which is the outro part. Okay, so for the outro part of this song, the chord progressions that we're going to use are these ones right here. Yep, and before I teach you guys this chord progression, I'll be showing you guys a little demonstration so that you guys will know how it will sound like once you start to play it properly. So it goes a little bit like this. Stay forever, you know more than anyone. Yeah, oh, and it's you who knows my darkness, and you know my bedroom needs. You can blast me in my secrets, there's no need. So for this chord progression, we'll be starting with the B flat major 7. For 8 counts, we're gonna do the same plucking pattern that we first learned. So it's the bass and the 2nd string together, 3rd, 4th, and then the 3rd again. And do that for 3 more times, so that makes 8 counts for this chord. 2, 3, 4. Then the next up is the D minor 7 chord, which is right here. Once again for 4 counts. 1, 2. Then the next up is the D minor 7 flat 5, which is right here. So the D minor 7 flat 5 is just the same as this chord right here. However, the only difference is that we'll be doing it here on the 5th fret. So instead of the 9th fret, we'll be doing it on the 5th fret. Right there, we'll be doing it for 4 counts. So that's doing the plucking pattern twice. 1, 2. Then the next up right here is going to be the C minor 7. Just right here. And we're gonna be doing it for 8 counts once again. Just gonna be doing the plucking pattern for 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the B flat major 7 chord right here for 6 counts. So that's doing the plucking pattern 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then finishing it off with a B flat 7 for 2 counts with a single down strum. 1, 2. So yeah, that's the end of the guitar tutorial. Thank you so much for reaching this far into the video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like so that I'll know. And if you want to comment any or suggest any guitar tutorials or covers, please do not hesitate to comment in the comment section down below. If you want to watch any other guitar tutorials, click here. If you want to watch any other guitar covers of mine, please click here. And once again, please do not forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed it, so that you'll be notified of my future videos to come. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.